Hey everybody, Callie Milliman here from the Ontario SPCA for another episode of Animals Voice Podcast. I'm excited about this one today because it's actually a topic that's pretty close to my heart, something I have a little bit of experience with after growing up on a farm for so many years. I know a little bit about having cats and especially working cats on a farm. I'm very excited to be joined today by my colleague from the Ontario SPCA, Cassandra. Thank you, Cassandra, for being here with us.
Thank you for having me, Callie.
So let's just jump right in, Cassandra. Tell us a little bit about your role and what center you work out of.
So I am the Community Development Assistant at the Ontario SPCA Provincial Education and Animal Centre. So my role, I manage the volunteer program as well as help out with fundraising and community events.
So today we're chatting about the Working Cats program, which I will say is a fairly new program at the Ontario SPCA that we are piloting at the Provincial Education and Animal Centre. And you're sort of the first one that took on a working cat. And I want you to tell us a little bit about the Working Cat program.
Well, the Working Cat program is wonderful. One of the goals of the Ontario SPCA is to provide the right home for every animal. So through the Working Cat program, we're able to provide a different environment for cats who are less socialized and wouldn't thrive in an indoor home, regular home for them. Yeah. So this gives them another opportunity to thrive and exhibit their natural behaviors.
Absolutely. And I think anybody out there who potentially has a farm or, we've even talked about folks that maybe work out of a mechanic shop or a warehouse and may notice that they have a potentially stray or feral cat hanging around. This program is really about those cats and how they can, live happy, healthy lives in a different environment. As you mentioned, not socialized enough to live inside a home, but this is really to give another opportunity. So that's fantastic. Absolutely. So let us know how you got involved, Cassandra, in this program.
So I recently came into a home with a barn on the property, and we realized there was a mouse issue in the barn. So through working at the Provincial Education and Animal Centre, I learned of the Working Cat program and how we can give these less socialized cats a purpose by having them work in the barn to kind of trap or mouse these animals. Yeah. I recently at work we had a cat who was not well socialized, who was not able to be adopted out, and who would be a good fit for my barn. So I decided to take him and give him a new chance at rehoming.
Awesome. Okay, so Cassandra, tell us a little bit. So I know obviously when you're beginning to integrate a working cat into a home, obviously as I mentioned earlier, if you've already got a cat on the property that's a stray cat or a feral cat that's around, they probably already have spots where they like to hang out or cozy up at night or what have you. But integrating a new working cat into your home or on your farm, I guess, take us through a couple of the steps that maybe you had to go through to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we even brought the cat home, there was a few things we had to make sure we did to ensure the cat was safe and would stay at this new home. So the first thing we did before we brought our cat back was to secure a stall within the barn or a small area within the barn. So we actually had to take chicken wire and close up any holes so that there was no room for the cat to get out, as well there was no holes where other animals or predators could get into the cat's safe space. So one of our first steps before we brought the cat home was to secure an area and make sure that we provided food, water, and a litter box, as well as a shelter environment for the animal. We also obtained one of the feral cat shelters from the Ontario SPCA Working Cat program, which became his home. And we also set up an environment for him to exhibit his natural behaviors. So, for example, giving him that feral cat shelter was a place for him to retreat into where he felt safe and comfortable. And we also created different ledges for him and platforms for him where he can go up and perch and look over the barn and kind of get away if he ever did feel threatened or scared.
And I think that's really great. Great points that you made there. I think that those sort of key steps, safety, of course, we want to provide those necessities like shelter, food, water. And then, of course, you added a little bit of enrichment in there, right? So now we've got warm spaces for him to hang out. You've added levels for perching. So you have to really think about a cat's instincts, and they like to hide, they like to perch, and they like to go. So yeah, you've really kind of covered the bases there, and how fantastic that you've been able to give this cat another wonderful opportunity. Yeah. So how do you think this program will benefit cats in the community?
Well, I think this is a wonderful program in that it gives cats that are not socialized a different environment for them to thrive in. And one of the great parts about the Ontario SPCA Working Cat Program is that every cat that's adopted out through that program is spay-neutered, vaccinated, given treatment for fleas and ticks, and is microchipped as well. So it's a healthy and humane way to maintain a feral cat population or a working cat population.
And I think this totally reinforces the Ontario SPCA really striving to help find all animals not just a forever home, but the right forever home. You know, not every animal's the same, and I think this is a fantastic demonstration of that. Is there any last tips or tricks that you want to leave with our listeners or viewers who might be listening and thinking, I kind of think I want to get into this, you know, what should I know?
One thing I would tell anyone who does want to get into the Working Cat program is that it does take patience. On average, you are keeping the cat inside the stall or a contained area for about 2 to 4 weeks. From that point, you can create a cat door or a small opening for the cat where only they know that's their entrance and exit out of the stall, and no predators can come in and perhaps threaten that safe environment for them.
You know what? Forever relationships take time, and I think that everybody out there can understand that. Thank you so much, Cassandra, for joining us and giving us all of this wonderful information. And of course, thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of Animals Voice Podcast. For more information on working cats, in case you're interested in getting involved, visit ontariospca.ca. And of course, tune in. You want to catch more of this exciting information. You can listen in on iTunes. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so that you can hear about all of our upcoming podcasts. Thanks so much, and we'll catch you soon.